Hi, it's Gwendolyn at Lifestyle Sew. Just going to mention a few things before we begin. Right, so remember I'm actually doing pattern 114, I think that's supplement 308, and doing the neckline of pattern 52. At the moment we can't actually find what supplement that actually comes out of. And on the pattern it actually doesn't say any letters or anything, so I can follow suit. Now I'm sure maybe I got this in my original patterns, and it was a bulk load of patterns that came originally, but I can't find it. And the second you take them out of the book and you put them somewhere else, you forget which supplement it's in. So hence now I write all the supplements on the pattern before I laminate them. So this is the one with the actual neckline and the arms. So if you know this pattern and you've got it in your book, please make a comment on YouTube Lifestyle Sew, not on your Facebook, because this will be out on different people's Facebook platforms. So if we have our own Facebook, Lifestyle Sew, so if you want to pop over there and say something, that's fine, but basically could you please just write the comment on the actual YouTube itself, because what people are doing is they're watching it, but then they're going on to their own Facebook. So if you're on Lutterloh, you're actually putting in Lutterloh to me the comment. So that's no good, because it rather needs to go to Lifestyle Sew, or it needs to be actually on YouTube channel. You'd be answering comments on that. But if you're on Lifestyle Sew, you always get the videos first, because it gets released in Lifestyle Sew Facebook first. But if you ring the bell, apparently that gives you the notifications. Found out that now. But if you subscribe, obviously you're always going to be knowing when things happen. So that's just a word of caution. Just so if you find that I'm not answering something on Lutterloh, it's normally because I'm rather answering in Lifestyle Sew to different people, or I'm always answering on the YouTube channel. So we would love somebody to actually put the supplement number in if you know it. I'm doing the yellow facing. That's going to be the front, and it may tip back and you might see a bit of yellow, little peak. But so that's really classed as the facing. But I'm also going to put a very lightweight 100% cotton iron-on facing. Now this stuff is not cheap. It's 100% cotton. It really, everything's 100% cotton that I'm making this dress out of. It gives this more stability to me. Is that a word? Have I just made that up? But you know what I mean. So yeah, so I will iron on. This goes on the back. Goes on the back of one. And then this will go over the top of that way. So you won't actually see the facing at all. When it comes to it, I'll show you how to do that. So this is the exciting bit, and let's hope it works. I'm sure it will. That's the worst, isn't it? When we start the sewing project and you think, oh my God, I have just, spent hours sorting out the pattern, getting the fit. Okay, there's never the proper fit until you actually sew your pattern, till you sew it up. And then you might be able to do some minor tweaks, like, say your back was really puffy at the back here. You could put darts in. That wouldn't affect your pattern. So that's something easy, an easy fix that you could actually do if that was the case. So you would know that. You would just take that neckline off at the back, not all the rest of it, just the neckline off at the back, and then put the darts in, and then put the neckline back on. An easy fix, and you can do it with this sort of neckline, because it's going to be stitched all the way around in a circle. And the cord, I'm going to put cord on mine. You don't have to put cord on people. Some people don't, but it does look nice. I bought two types of cord. I'm not 100% sure which one I'm going to go for, because this yellow is not this yellow. So it may have to be the white to be, but I could put yellow beads on the end. So I might get some nice, try and take this material and get some beads on the end, or actually have a look at what my granddaughter's got. She's got loads of beads. She might have something she might be able to give me for this project. Right, so the back of the neck, you've got these slanty sides. We're sewing together the two straight sides. So that's the first job. The two straight sides we're sewing together. So it's right sides facing. So that's the back of the fabric, and that's the back of the fabric. Right, so we've done all our neck, and we've sewed it all round. Sewed each part to each part, and at the bottom we've sewed a smaller hem there. Yellow's the same. You don't have to do yellow. Obviously, you would face it maybe with your own, the same colour as your material. I'm just choosing to do yellow. Same with everything else. You can just line it exactly with your same material. You don't have to put the contrasting colour in. So now I'm going to iron all of this. I'm going to also put my iron-on cotton interfacing on the blue, and then come back and sew all of that together in the wrong side. So all right sides facing. Hi, so we've sewn all the way around the edges. Remember, I put the lining on, so the good side is inside here. The curves there, you'll clip your curves not through the stitches, just up to the stitches. Right, so we're at the ironing board. So I've literally, you can see it here, I've sewn round all the way around the outside, because this is important. I am going to enclose my edges inside the garment. You don't have to do it like this. So I'm really bagging out the actual neckline, and then I'm sewing it onto the dress and turning it the opposite way. So I won't have any edges at all. I want my yellow to show, not this material to show, because that's the contrast that I'm trying to achieve. So we need to clip round the curves here, round any curves that we've got up to the actual stitch line, as close as you can without actually cutting it through. Lost, you won't lose the... Okay, once you get on the straight, we don't need to do anything about that, but once it starts to curve again, it's not difficult to turn this inside out, obviously, because we've already got a slit. So you might have to watch this video bit a few times to get this, because it's not the norm how you're going to do this, but it's just, you know, having to finish those edges inside here is a pain. I will be finishing my edges on the down the sides when my overlocker is complete. So that's at a later stage. There we go. We get down like that. So you see, like that, it's like a keyhole. And we're going to iron all the way around. I use now Best Press. So I've got my press in a fine sprayer. I've got my pins, and then one of the most important things, I've got my string, my rope, whatever you want to call it. So I like this little gadget. It's like a shoehorn, really. You could use a shoehorn or anything that's got like a round circle, a point, just to make sure that I've got my clapper. Let me put this in so we can actually see. So I've got my clapper, so I want that. And I want this, my arm roll. So this I will use on the blunt end, just to try and get those out. This has got to be as smooth as you possibly can get it. But don't finish this stage until you are absolutely happy. Then you can finish it. Then you can go on to the next stage. So if I left it like that, look, it's just jagged, isn't it, all the way around? Well, it's not jagged, is it? It's a smooth stitch all the way around. So I'm going to grade it down. Struggling with all of that. I would have done that automatically. I don't know why I didn't. Right, that's much better, much easier. Get nice little curves on everything now. Just turn that round, make sure we get this. Anyway, that's down. So now I'm going to use my little clapperette, because the reason why, because I can see the edge of this, and I don't want that. I want the yellow to show slightly, because it's the yellow that is going to be my finished thing eventually. So if I can just show the yellow slightly, like that. So what you do, oh, there you go, got that. Put a little best press on it, or any spray that you've got. We're going to put this on, the iron on, and then straight away we'll put the clapper on. It'll keep the heat in. Wow, makes such a difference, that clapper. We're all working with cotton, so it needs a nice hot iron. That looks good. Just a peak all the way around. That's I pressed before. Now I've got the right side. Oh, that looks a bit creased, hanging about there. Now is put. Where is it? Oh, gosh, got that. I need to put the neckline on. Let's fold it out. I've got a crease there. Let me just take that crease out. Right. Okay, so close this up. Make sure that's nice and you're happy with all of that. That's the centre of that. So I want part of that this side and part of this side. Okay. So it needs to be half and half. It doesn't matter to be 100% half and half, because you can just cut one of these shorter. Because we're going to do our 5/8 all the way around, or 7/8, whichever way you've worked it. And I need to pin it. So I've got to bear in mind that it'll have to come down a bit, because we're going to turn 5/8 here and 5/8 there. So roughly it's going to be about there. So I would say that's good for me. I'm going to pin that. Just going to pin that in place. Because when we turn this, you're going to cut it in between this. But when we turn this out, this will be stitched in place. And you will be stitching this in place double over here. So he's in place. And now we're going to pin the next side up in place. We're going to be sewing all the way around here and all the way around. So at this stage, the cords are absolutely fine, because we're not going to be doing the top stitching on this until we flipped it over to pin. Ow! Preferably not that way, so you get poked. Sometimes it's crazy, isn't it, when you... That's why we like sewing, isn't it? We like sewing. It takes a while to get into the art of sewing, to get everything, and then you're always learning. So it's you're always learning. Now we will check this before we sew this each time we do it. So, you know, before we actually go through to that next stage, I'm just going to put a pin there. I don't want to. Going around there, the neckline now. So it's like this, and you've got your cords out here. So you sewed your cords in, and you set your neckline. Now what you would be doing is you would cut down to your V there, not through your stitches at the bottom. You would cut or clip round your curve here, and probably just cut off that corner there We don't need the extra bulk. I've already cut the cord in the middle, and then you're going to turn it inside out. So let me just do what I've just said, actually. Down the bottom. So that's all you're going to do for that. You could grade that down, turn it inside out and see how you feel before you actually start cutting that. So we're going to turn this around. So when you put it through, see you've got your cord there at the top. I think there's other ways of putting that cord in too. If you did make a mistake and cut too much out, you know, and you weren't comfortable with that, you could actually do a top stitch up to all the way around and then round the rest of it to give, obviously, the look that we're after.